Welcome! This channel is dedicated to helping you to make sense of the Jamaica Data Protection Act in easy-to-understand language. If you're interested in exploring its implications for businesses, individuals, and the digital landscape, stay tuned. Subscribe and turn on your post notification now. In today's video, we will be defining some of the key terms you need clarity on before we dive deeper into the meat of the matter. Personal data. The Jamaica Data Protection Act says personal data is any information about a person that could identify them. This includes things like their name, address, or anything else that makes them who they are. Data controller. In simple terms, a data controller is a person or an entity that decides how personal data is used. They're in charge of making sure that people's information is kept safe and used properly. The controller has the ultimate responsibility for ensuring compliance with data protection principles. The data controller is required to register with the Office of the Information Commissioner. Data processor. A data processor is a third party, not an employee, who handles personal data on behalf of the data controller. They do things with the data, like storing it, organizing it, or analyzing it, but they only do what the data controller tells them to do. They have a contractual obligation to ensure the data is kept secure and confidential while acting on behalf of the data controller. Data subject. A data subject is a person who has their personal data collected, stored, or used by someone else. They have rights under the law to control what happens to their data, including the right to access their personal data, request corrections or erasure, and seek remedies for breaches of their privacy rights. Someone who has been dead for less than 30 years is still considered a data subject and has the same rights under the DPA. This could include individuals such as customers, employees, or clients of the data controller. Consent. Consent means giving permission for someone to use your personal data. This could be agreeing to let a company use your email address to send you newsletters, for example. Consent must be freely given, specific, informed, and clear, indicating an individual's agreement to the processing of their personal data for a specific purpose. Generally, the law makes it mandatory for data controllers to obtain consent before processing personal data, except for certain lawful processing activities. Data processing. Data processing is what happens when personal data is used in any way. This could be collecting it, storing it, sharing it with others, recording, organizing, amending it, retrieving, consulting it, disclosing, erasing, or destroying personal data. Processing is basically anything that is done with the personal data. Data Protection Officer. A data protection officer is someone designated by an organization to make sure that the rules about keeping personal data safe are followed. The DPO serves as the main contact person for data protection authorities and data subjects. The DPO's role is to ensure that the organization adheres to the principles of data protection. Data breach. A data breach is when someone gets unauthorized access to personal data, like if a hacker breaks into a company's database and steals people's information. A breach involves unauthorized access, use disclosure, change, or destruction of personal data. Data controllers must notify the Office of the Information Commissioner, OIC, and affected data subjects in the event of a data breach. Data incident. A data incident is different from a data breach. All breaches are incidents, but not all incidents are considered breaches. An incident is a broader term that covers any event involving personal data that may compromise its confidentiality, integrity, or availability. For example, if an employee loses a flash drive with clients' personal data on it, but the data is encrypted, this would be classified as a data incident, not a breach. Reason being, whoever finds that flash drive would not be able to read the encrypted data, so the data subject would not be at risk. Data controllers do not need to report data incidents to the OIC or the data subjects. Right to access. This means that people have the right to ask for a copy of the personal data that's being kept about them by a company or organization. Upon request, data controllers must provide individuals with a copy of their personal data, along with information about the reasons for processing, the categories of data processed, and who has received the data. Right to erasure or be forgotten. This means that people can ask for their personal data to be deleted or removed if there's no good reason for it to be kept anymore. Data subjects have the right to request for their data to be deleted or erased from the data controller's records in some cases. This includes when the data is no longer necessary for the purposes for which it was collected, the individual withdraws consent, or the data processing is unlawful. The data controller must comply with such requests unless there are legal grounds for keeping the data. This is where we end for today. In my next video, we will break down some more key concepts and get into some things. Get the clarity you need about data privacy and protection here on this channel. Send me an email at privacyhubjamaica@gmail.com to share and receive exclusive information and stay in the loop. Tell me in the comments what you want me to break down for you next. Subscribe and hit the post notification bell to get the scoop when it drops here on Privacy Hub Jamaica. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.